Hello guys, please mute the video while reading it. Actually for now I am not able to put any voice recording by me. Some of you know my situation in my house about the channel. And we have guests to attend. I don't think I can give a voiceover if they are around also when one of them is staying with me. And if I think about their departure then it will take more than 1 month. So I will just give I voice with some part of the story. Which obviously be mismatched with the entire part, so it's better if your guys don't hear and mute it. I know you guys do mute, still just a reminder. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Week passed after the night. Taehyung is trying to change himself. But everything is hard. The process seems beautiful to Jungkook. He would smile more often now. Talk with Ella without any worry. Without any fear. The hesitation in Jungkook's heart subsided. The evening looks mesmerizing to Jungkook when it's nothing special. His husband would take him to dinner, obviously GGUK tag along. They would have a perfect family dinner. Some perfect time with each other. Remembering those words, a faint blush crept on his cheeks. But the peaceful moment broke when the door opened and Mrs. Kim walked inside. Jungkook looked horrified. He can't take her insults. Mr. Kim never says anything to him. But Mrs. Kim didn't leave the slightest chance. She walked inside and sat in front of Jungkook as if she owned the place. Her smile was fake. Jungkook's stomach churned at the sight. He can imagine what the moment will unfold now. Mrs. Kim, I see nothing's changed here. You still have that servant-like posture. Do you enjoy humiliating our name, Jungkook? And how silly of you to imagine a restraining order would stop me from visiting my son's house. Jungkook's throat tightened. He didn't respond, he never did. He just bowed his head slightly lower. Shame washed over him by the insulted action, but like all time he kept quiet just to keep the peace between his husband and mother-in-law. Jungkook. Ella Nuna, serve the tea to mother. Ella, arranging tea on the side table. She takes a glance at Jungkook. Somehow her heart felt aching for the younger. Mrs. Kim, ooh, you call her Nuna. Suits you. After all you both are the same. Jungkook can understand the meaning. This hurts him. He can take thousands of insults thrown at him but never to his close ones. Jungkook. You said right. I am just like her. She is also an omega just like you and me. Mrs. Kim's skin blazed with fury at the comparison with a maid. But for Jungkook, Ella is his sister. The person who listens and doesn't judge. Who understands even in spoken words. Mrs. Kim stands on his heels and walks over to Jungkook. Just a few inches distance. Mrs. Kim, ooh, what about your little brother? Leeching off our wealth too. My son's generosity has its limits. For how many years he will suck my son's blood? Jungkook opens his mouth to say something but a loud growl makes the atmosphere tense. Jungkook can feel the presence of his alpha. The musk scents hit his nose assuring him. Taehyung, enough, mother. You said a lot. You can't insult my husband and brother like this. Mrs. Kim was startled slightly by the unexpected presence of her son. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung cut her off by showing his palm. Taehyung. I said enough, mother. He walked over to Jungkook, placing himself between them. Placing his rough lips on the soft skin of Jungkook's forehead, he planted a long peck. Without asking, he reached for Jungkook's hand, lacing their fingers together with quiet intent. Jungkook closed his eyes, feeling the enchantment with Taehyung's presence. Taehyung, you are not even a guest in my house. You do not have the right to insult the person who lives here, who belongs here. He left a sigh. You are trespassing the law. Invading my house or even giving a restraining order is crime, mother. Mrs. Kim, you're blinded by infatuation, Taehyung. This bit Taehyung, you better stop there. One more ill word about my husband and I will cut every ties with you. His voice was cold, not just calm, it seems like ice poured in his tone. Mrs. Kim, are you this blind to see anything neutral? Taehyung, no, I see more clearly than ever. Jungkook is my husband, my choice, my mate, my omega, and if that isn't enough for you, then you are free to take a leave from my life. But insulting my people standing in my house, I won't tolerate it. I hope you don't want to face V. Jungkook flinched slightly, eyes widening. He never wanted things to go this bad. He would never want this. The pain of losing parents, he understood it. Mrs. Kim stared at her son in stunned silence. Her son can never be this much disappointing than now. Mrs. Kim, you would choose him over your own blood, over your own mother. Disbelief written all over her face. It would be a lie if this didn't hurt her heart. Until now whatever happened it's always hurt her ego, not his heart. And the hurt feeling intensified when Taehyung didn't hesitate to answer. Taehyung, Every single time. Jungkook looks at Taehyung with widened eyes. He couldn't believe Taehyung said this kind of thing. You may leave. Mrs. Kim couldn't handle the insult. She hurriedly left without even trying to make amends. Jungkook holds Taehyung's hand and looks at him. Jungkook, you should behave like this with your mother. Taehyung, I had to. Anyway, she wouldn't care about anything or anyone without herself. Aren't you ready for dinner? Where is GGUK? Jungkook, he is getting ready. I am coming in a few minutes. 30 minutes exactly passed by. Taehyung and GGUK seated on the couch waiting for Jungkook. And finally Jungkook stepped outside the room. The white shimmering dress increased his beauty to an unexpected level. GGUK. Ooh Hyungi, look kooky Hyungi looking like a fairy. How is Hyungi looking? Taehyung. Like always, he said and bent down tying Gyuk's shoelace. Looking at the front he witnessed his husband's sad face. Those facial expressions are a hole in his heart. Moon doesn't need outer ornaments to look magnificent. It's usually breathtaking. Jungkook picked his head only to witness his husband's eyes on him. Sincerity on his face makes Jungkook's cheeks scarlet. GGUK, let's go. I am so excited. Taehyung picked GGUK in his arms and they all left for their family date. The house was unusually quiet that afternoon. GGUK had gone out with Ella for his art class, and Taehyung was attending his office. Jungkook, feeling a rare burst of energy, decided to tidy up Taehyung's study, something he never did. He can count how many times he entered that study room. And without delivering some late-night strong coffee he never steps inside the room. Jungkook hummed softly as he dusted the large desk, arranging files and moving things carefully. There wasn't much dust. Taehyung is a clean freak. He would make sure everything is clean and polished. Jungkook smiled while arranging Taehyung's table. When he bent down to clean the bottom drawer, it got stuck halfway. With a huff he tugged harder. The drawer slid out fully, and behind it, hidden in the back, was a small wooden box. There was no lock. Jungkook sat on the floor and slowly opened it. He possibly couldn't hold his curiosity by the box's beauty. Jungkook, what is inside of this box? Let's just see a little. He smiles at himself and opens the lid. Inside were old papers, one of photos of Jaeon family. Jungkook doesn't remember the incident, but by the look of this photo he can assume it's the photo when he was 10 or 11. He picked the photo and, at the very bottom, worn and soft at the edges, lay a thick leather-bound diary. His curiosity picked up despite knowing it's morally questionable. He opened the diary. The date shows almost 10 years ago. I learned his name, Jaeon Jungkook. I whispered his name that night. Over and over, not like a man obsessed. Like a man who had just remembered something his soul forgot long ago. His name seems like a sweet portion. The more I take, the more my throat becomes sweeter. Jungkook's hands began to tremble. With trembling hands flipped another page. I bought a winter coat today. One too small for me. One just his size. I have no idea if I'll ever give it to him. But it's hanging in my closet, next to mine. Like he's already here. Like I'm already his. I want to be his, but I don't know when the time will come and I will see my dream coming true. I started writing music again. Just one song. I titled it, J. It's soft. The kind of song you hum to someone as they fall asleep on your chest. I don't know if he'll ever hear it. But it's his. Every note. I don't know if he heard and didn't like it. He might like this. During college my friend used to say I am a genius lyricist. Jungkook remembers the night where Taehyung hummed a song. Just a bit, but the tune took his heart away. I moved out of the house. No one cares either. Anyway, living in a different house won't make things complimentary for me. I have been alone for almost my entire life. I wish my moon would be here. I would have been the happiest soul ever. I started making chamomile tea before bed. I don't like it, but I read somewhere that he does. And drinking it makes me feel like maybe he's on the other side of the table. Just not yet. What it would be if we ever share the same table or late night talk on the balcony. I guess he wouldn't like them. Mother said those actions are shameful for an alpha to do. Sometimes I think if some small things make us happy, how can it be shameful? I bought a sketchbook. I can't draw, never could, but I tried to sketch his smile, the one I saw in that photo. I ruined the page. It looked nothing like him. But I couldn't tear it out. It's the only page that felt alive. The only symbol other than the photo. It's silly, but how to say I am feeling happy about this silly behavior. Jungkook opened the scrambled paper only to see his sketch. So beautiful, his eyes drawn as beautiful as northern lights. He also never knew his smile was this pretty if he never found a piece of paper. He keeps flipping the pages and keeps reading the journal. His eyes shed tears. It's not taking the name of stopping. The more he reads, the more he understands about the loneliness of his husband. The longing behind those cold orbs. His voice came on the news once. Just a clip. He had won another competition. I played it on loop that night. And when I fell asleep, I dreamed of him calling my name. I've never hated mornings so much. The sunlight shatters my peaceful life's dream. Jungkook flipped pages and there is a huge time gap. The day is actually the day of their wedding. He said, "I'll marry you if you promise to keep my brother safe." He thought I was doing him a favor. But what he didn't know was that he was giving me the one thing I never thought I'd deserve. For him, this marriage is nothing but an agreement for keeping his brother safe. But he shouldn't say that. I don't know why, but his words echo in my mind. Should I be happy? I get married with my life. Or should I be sad? The person of my dear moon would never love me. Jungkook's whole body trembled badly when the door opened with a soft click. Taehyung stood frozen at the place, witnessing the scenes unfold in his eyes. His moon sitting in the cold tile crying hysterically, while a worn-out journal lay in his lap. He stiffened by the direct gaze of Jungkook. Jungkook kept looking at him and darted between the journals. He touched my hand today. Just briefly, but I felt it for hours. I wish I could cut my hand and hang it to a dearest place. I'm not sure how long I can keep pretending I'm unaffected. He's unraveling me in the softest, cruelest way. I touched his hair while he was asleep last night. Just once. Just enough to remember the softness. I whispered, "I love you," then, but he didn't hear me. I hope he never does. Because if he ever finds out how deeply I've fallen, he'll leave. He deserves someone warmer. Not a man like me. But selfish me can't let the golden chance go. He is my omega, so he should be with me. He wore one of my shirts today. It fell off his shoulder. He is a divine beauty. How can he always manage to steal my sanity in just a mere sight? He doesn't know it, but I didn't work a single minute in the study. I just watched him from the door. Smiling like a fool, like a man who has everything but isn't allowed to touch it. A quiet sob escaped Jungkook's throat. He pressed his hand against the page, as if he could hold the emotion still. When in reality he is crying in the filthiest way possible. Jungkook's whole body trembled badly when the door opened with a soft click. Taehyung stood frozen at the place, witnessing the scenes unfold in his eyes. His moon sitting in the cold tile crying hysterically while a worn-out journal lay in his lap. He stiffened by the direct gaze of Jungkook. Jungkook kept looking at him and darted between the journals. He touched my hand today. Just briefly, but I felt it for hours. I wish I could cut my hand and hang it to a dearest place. I'm not sure how long I can keep pretending I'm unaffected. He's unraveling me in the softest, cruelest way. I touched his hair while he was asleep last night. Just once. Just enough to remember the softness. I whispered, "I love you," then, but he didn't hear me. I hope he never does. Because if he ever finds out how deeply I've fallen, he'll leave. He deserves someone warmer. Not a man like me. But selfish me can't let the golden chance go. He is my omega, so he should be with me. He wore one of my shirts today. It fell off his shoulder. He is a divine beauty. How can he always manage to steal my sanity in just a mere sight? He doesn't know it, but I didn't work a single minute in the study. I just watched him from the door. Smiling like a fool, like a man who has everything but isn't allowed to touch it. A quiet sob escaped Jungkook's throat. He pressed his hand against the page, as if he could hold the emotion still. When in reality he is crying in the filthiest way possible. There's a photo of him on my phone. He's sitting on the floor, reading to GGUK. He looks like something out of a dream I had when I was 19. And now he's here, under my roof, under my name. But not mine, not really. He is someone who is my entire sky, but I don't have any right on it. Jungkook left a sob, loud enough to break Taehyung's heart. Jungkook was feeling each heartbreak of Taehyung with each passing page, but he still couldn't feel the pain. He made pancakes this morning. Burnt. A little too sweet. He was embarrassed, but I finished every bite. I wanted to tell him it was perfect. That he was perfect. That he touched a thing and it turned out gold. But instead, I just nodded. I hope he understood. He will, right? Am I leading this relationship in a good way? He doesn't seem much affected, but all I feel is overwhelmed. He fell asleep on the couch. Head resting on Gyuk's lap. I sat across the room pretending to read, but I memorized every line on his face instead. I wonder if he'd let me hold him like that if he knew how long I've waited. If someday ever I can hold him, I would treasure him just the way he deserves. He kissed me first. I didn't expect it. He said I should fulfill my duty as a husband. He was in pain. I didn't even breathe properly. His pain makes me suffocate. So I gave in. His skin against mine felt like fire and forgiveness. I've touched him now. I've held what I thought I'd only love from afar. But I didn't say, I love you. Not even then. Because I knew, once I say it, I'll never be able to stop myself. What if my clinginess causes him more pain? That night, I didn't sleep. I just watched him breathing beside me and thought, if this is all I'm allowed, I'll still die grateful. I want to call him mine. Not for the sake of possession, but because I've never wanted to protect something so fiercely. He carries so much pain in his eyes. I want to be the reason they shine again. But he isn't ready to share anything. I tried harder to know the hidden truth. But I get nothing, and he is just quite like this isn't hurting him. Jungkook stands on his foot. Take one step towards Taehyung. The man stands still as if his own written words aren't hurting him. He flipped to another page. I am not here to complain. I am just happy today. In the morning he tied my tie. He himself came to me. Sometimes I walk past the room and hear him talking to GGUK, or humming, or laughing quietly while cooking. And I just freeze. Because that sound is what love would sound like, if it had a voice. I hope I heard more of his hum. He said goodnight and smiled like we were a normal couple. Like this was a normal marriage. Like he didn't say all those things which were ringing in my mind. And I said nothing. I just closed the door. But once it shut, I pressed my back to it and whispered, I love you. Maybe someday I'll be brave enough to say it when he's listening. Sometimes I gain courage to let it all pour down, but remembering his words I can't forward. Lately I am not like myself. I am feeling hurt by those words. I can feel his changes. Like he is running from me. My head keeps buzzing. I don't know until how much time I will be brave enough to hold on. Nowadays I again keep hearing things which I don't want. Maybe I shouldn't expect love from him. But this hope that he is loving me is the only way to live. Is he pregnant? My scent on him is too strong. This isn't coming from my clothes. No, no, if he does then he will tell me first. I am his alpha, so he won't hide it from me. But what if he is hiding? My mind is manipulating me into nonsense. He is pregnant. Those words sliced my heart. My Jungkookie, my love, didn't find the necessity to rely on me. He bear everything on his own. How I hurt him, break him to do so. I am feeling like killing myself. But it would be too shallow. Why am I like this? Why, Jungkook? You loved me all this time. You loved me before we even met. Watch me from afar, and never told me. Jungkook's voice was muffled. Taehyung stood still, didn't utter a single word. Just 3 days before everything seemed so right, and now again they are at the same place of hide and seek. Do you know how many nights I cried thinking you didn't want me? That you regretted marrying me? His voice cracked while Taehyung couldn't do anything. He has to answer Jungkook. Taehyung, you came to me broken. Desperate. What right did I have to say I loved you? He said, ignoring the fact that Jungkook's words hurt him deeply. That much that he never tries to open up. But Jungkook couldn't sustain his emotions. He shouted fiercely, Jungkook, you had every right. Because I needed to hear it. I needed to know I wasn't just some passerby you made out of pity. You kissed me, you held me, slept with me, have a child with me. And still you let me believe I was unloved. Like I wasn't worth the truth. You loved me for 10 years and never once told me. I cried myself to sleep. Am I that unworthy to know the truth? Jungkook's face is all red due to crying. Taehyung takes a step towards him. Taehyung, I loved you too much to lose you. If you had known back then, you would have run. I found you in the worst state. I can't even imagine the suffering of you. You were too terrified of me. And if that moment my love unraveled, you would surely run away with GGUK. Jungkook, you think I would have run from someone who gave up everything to protect me? Who loved me before I even knew how to love myself? You didn't scare me, you broke me. First time Taehyung, not Hyungi, not hubby. Just his name. Taehyung's soul could have been retrieved, but it shattered like always. Taehyung, I say nothing because if I start, I'll never stop. I'll tell you I memorized your smile before I ever heard your voice. I'll tell you I burned for you in silence while you slept 2 inches away. I'll tell you, I'm not cold because I don't love you. I'm cold because I can't love you without falling apart. I was raised to compare love with abilities. And you Tilda, I thought I would bring my best version to you. But you said something which shattered the hope completely. I never felt my parents' presence besides me if I didn't do well on exams. If I didn't track down the deal. If I didn't fulfill their bank account. I used to know this is love. But falling for you raises so many expectations and silly thoughts. I was scared if I failed to give the view of perfect Taehyung you will never consider me too enough lovable. Taehyung sobs harder. The sound broke Jungkook. More than anything, his chest rose and fell rapidly. His fingers curled around the hem of his silk shirt. He stepped into Taehyung's arms. Without Taehyung's arms there isn't any way he would find some peace. He buried his face in his husband's chest, sobbing against the warmth that had always made him feel safe. Taehyung wrapped his hands around the petite waist, securing his beloved Moon. His own heart is bleeding. But for him it's always Jungkook. It's always been Jungkook who matters the most. Jungkook. Why Kim Taehyung? Why? Each reason makes Taehyung's body tense. He gulped hard. Taehyung. Because you said, I don't need your love. I just need a roof over our heads. If I had any other option, I wouldn't be marrying you. I need a proper future for my brother. How could I just say I love you when I meant nothing to you? When this marriage means nothing to you? Jungkook broke the hug and stood still. He doesn't know his words hit Taehyung that hard. Jungkook. I didn't mean a single word I said that day. I was scared and broken. Tell me Tae, how would I be happy knowing you were my mate and found me at my worst? When I was locked up for a year and ran out somehow. I had a brother whose life was uncertain. Tell me how I should react. I was standing like a throw-out trash in front of a man who was looking like every Omega's dream alpha. I wasn't in my senses back then. But you took my words like they were the truth. And I hated myself for it. I hated the fact that I broke the man's heart whom love I begged desperately. Taehyung. I didn't know you were this broken back then. I thought you wouldn't dream of an alpha who was 10 years older than you. You are too beautiful to fit in a mere alpha's life like me. Too precious to be with me. I thought you loved someone else. I thought I snatched your happiness. Jungkook. You thought a lot of rubbish. Taehyung. I do. Are my chances available? Taehyung seems too broken right at this moment. Jungkook hugged him tightly. Jungkook. Now I won't leave you. Not after death either. Taehyung's grip on Jungkook's body tightens and Jungkook can feel the displeased pheromones around him. He kisses Taehyung's chest. Your chances are still there, hubby. Taehyung. No, call me Taehyung. It sounds so beautiful in your mouth. Jungkook. Taehyung. Taehyung picked Jungkook and left the messy study room. He came to their bedroom and locked the door. He wiped Jungkook's tears, his thumbs caressing the tear-streaked face. He leaned a bit while Jungkook closed his eyes. He too leaned forward and that was it. Taehyung's lips met his like a prayer. Taehyung kissed him like he was made of breath and memory. Like he had imagined this too many times to get it wrong now. Jungkook's fingers curled into Taehyung's shirt, clutching it like he was drowning and Taehyung was the only thing keeping him afloat. The kiss deepened. Taehyung tilted Jungkook's head gently, his other hand finding the small of his back, pulling him impossibly closer, chest to chest, heartbeat to heartbeat. Jungkook gasped softly into his mouth, lips parting just enough for Taehyung to taste the raw ache behind them. When they finally broke apart, both were breathless. Foreheads touching, noses brushing. Taehyung. You're not just my husband, Jungkook. You're the